Yeah, I was in a bar band that played Saturday nights all right for fighting.
Oh, so you probably played it quite a few times and are a little tired of hearing it.
I haven't played in years. I don't even practice anymore. What in the world? It's like you're back from you've risen. You're like pulling a Lazarus on us.
Yeah, you got the necromancer. Brought me back.
Welcome back, Reverend Fuzzcut.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Last couple months we just a lot of softball stuff. Been very busy, but clearer in my head than I have been in years. It's been a wonderful few months.
Yeah, since you got away from us, and now you're coming right back in, and back to the insanity.
Oh, it's so fun. I didn't stay away from Doom. I was still listening to there was like a 2-week period where I was like on Sabbath and Zeppelin and Beatles and Rolling Stones. But then I was like, okay, I got to go see what's going on. And then Kaiser came out with that one. I'm like, okay, I'm back.
I remember you kept saying, that's it. I'm quitting Facebook. I'm quitting Instagram. I'm quitting everything.
And everybody kept putting out albums. And I'm like, I can't. Yeah, it was just got the social aspect got a little too much because I just... I was just panicking. I think I had my net cast too wide. I wanted to do all these things, and I really need to focus on what I wanted to accomplish within this. So, writing for one is the number one. Making my own music, and then everything else is kind of coming after that. And I was just casting too wide a net, and I was just like, I couldn't manage my time. So I had all these half finished projects and nothing completed, and it was too much.
You just described my Tuesday.
I am not somebody who can...
Why am I getting echo? Do you have speakers on?
Testing. Whoa, you're coming... Hold on, let me turn my monitors are on. Hold on, let me turn on my monitor. Okay.
Are you sporting Did you shave?
Yeah, I did back in December, early January. Our last couple of videos, it was real short. I don't
remember. No, your head.
Oh, yeah. I've had a shaved head for 2 or 3 years now.
It's like, wait a minute. Can they tell us apart?
Yeah, I know. That's the reason I always wear a hat. I'm like, well, they're just going to be thinking I'm your son or something at this point. We got the same glasses and stuff.
So, plus, you're being really nice and generous on the social aspect. When you do this thing long enough, the scene is very welcoming and inviting. I've never felt safer than when I'm in a room full of 1,000 stoner doom people.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing to worry about at all. But that being said, just like anywhere else, there's people going through a lot of pain. There's people doing things that create pain. Gets a little hard to take, man.
Yeah, and I'm somebody that's a very trusting, naive person. I always tell my wife, I'm the world's most naive drug addict in recovery. I got hustled so many times because I'm just too trusting. But I'd rather be somebody. And I was talking to my mother-in-law about this. I'd rather be trusting and get burned every once in a while, than just be suspicious and kind of, cranky all the time. So if I get burned, I get burned. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm learning to roll with the punches. What REO said, roll with the changes. Which if I don't get that song out of my head soon, I'm going to die. And then, all sorts of stuff. Did you hear about the goings on with Hastronaut?
Yes. Ryan Lurker from Grim Reaper. He's the one, he posted something in on Facebook. There's pedal boards of actual doom. It's a group, and that's where I saw it. And then I saw somebody post it from their Instagram, and I was like, wow, I know sex addiction is real, but oh man, that's bad.
I don't think we have the whole story.
Yeah, I can't imagine so.
I don't want the whole story.
Yeah, I don't either.
But still, things like that, they do happen. OnlyFans is an expensive way to go, man.
Again, Reddit exists, so I don't know.
We're not doing my thing.
Yeah. Oh, and also, I know you can edit this part out, but I'm going to watch my language. I heard you telling Jason that you wanted to keep it PG-13, I believe. So I'll make sure to kind of keep that.
I edit them the Gal, like there's the membership, like this banter part, that's going to membership. Some people love the banner.
And I'm wanting to kind of clean up my image a little more anyways. When I was kind of manic last year, I was really a lot of dark stuff. And I want to kind of, I know I've kind of already made the first impression, but I want to kind of try to get away from that. Even though I'm like that inside, I don't want that to be, now that Sammy's getting into, going to go into 8th grade, she's going to have friends that are going to see some of this stuff, and some already have. I don't want that to get onto her. You know what I mean?
I do. So what'd you miss the most while you were on hiatus from the wonderful world of Clean and Sober Stoner Monster Riff?
Honestly, it was interacting, like just the day-to-day stuff, like you, Ryan, Bram, Sean. I barely talked to Sean in the last few months. I just got away from it. I was like, damn, I'm not around my people anymore. Even though it's online, it's still, you guys are my people, and you understand in ways like my wife's friends don't. They're normies or whatever you want to call them. They don't understand this stuff. So it's nice to have that, because I got to start feeling alone again. We're like, I'm the only person like this. I feel like an alien. Nobody gets me. But as soon as you and I started talking, I was like, oh yeah, they're out there. I heard Jason on when he did the Beware of Gods interview, and that was one of the most affirming interviews I've ever seen you do.
Thank you. Yeah. Like, the thing about the channel, and I'm not trying to, but we don't get a lot of views. We're not getting the, heck, I'm lucky to break 500, but the watch time on that video is insane. And the YouTube algorithm supposedly is based on watch time, click rate, and all that. It's got this high click rate, and the watch time, I think the average on YouTube is 3 minutes. That sucker's pushing 17 minutes average. And I don't know. I think we just confuse the algorithm. Are we about recovery? Are we about stoner doom? Are we about AI? What are we about? And I'm like, yeah,
the algorithm doesn't get us. It's all connected, because so many of us, are like that, or in art in general. I think any art scene is going to have a lot of that.
Yeah. In the meantime, we're doing okay. We're fully monetized, at this rate. I'm going to be able to afford to buy pizza for a family of 5 in about 8 more months.
Hey, man, everybody start small. That's such a win, though, just to get to this point, dude. When you told me, I felt like doing cartwheels around here. I was like, dude, he done it. Like, I was so proud of you, man. It was such a cool thing to hear.
It was touch and go, too, because last May is when I started, this is the thumbnail. And I've got some horrible, I'm not going to change all of them. Like, some of my stuff is comically bad, right?
I remember the one that sticks out, and I'm not poking fun, but it said I'm killing my YouTube channel. Yeah. That one gets me every time. I love it because it's like, I'm not making fun, but it's like a horror movie that's bad on purpose.
Yeah.
And it's very enjoyable because of it.
Totally the whole cheesy solid color background.
Yeah,
and
total satire. Loved it.
Yeah. But people don't get my satire, right? I posted a short on JJ Kozan, and we're talking about how to pronounce his name. So I need you to do me a favor if you're willing to.
Is it tell you how to pronounce my last name?
Coxon, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, how is it?
I take Coxan. I don't really like, pronunciation has varied forever, even in my family.
Kozan?
So I take Coxan, Kozan, Kotsan, Kochan, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. If you want to just say JJ from the Obelisk, I am 100% fine with that.
This is an example of your mercurial nature.
Oh, yeah.
And it came across like JJ's being an arrogant prick, and he's the most humble dude. It's like, I have to be careful because I throw the jokes out there, but they're not until the end. I wait until the punchline. I grew up in an era of, if people expect Richard Pryor all the time, forget about it. I'm raised on hee-haw. So I'm going to tell the story and then give you the punchline. So if I do a 30-second video, you're going to have to wait 20 seconds for it to, that's just how I can't change that. I can't.
And it's also, I think, it's unfair to judge somebody based on a 30-second clip of their life. Like,
but that's what we
I didn't think JJ came across. He just seemed kind of chill to me. I didn't think he came across as.
I know. I know, yeah, but you know them, you know.
I've never talked to them. And
so Stoner Doom, I mean, there just aren't a lot of channels, right? There definitely aren't a lot of big channels. So people don't know us yet. They don't know us. And I think it's going to take time, you know, for people to be familiar that we're basically a wacky morning show centered around sobriety and Stoner Doom, which is a weird mix, but it is loud.
Yeah, it's and there's a lot of us. If you're out there and you're wondering, yes, this is the scene to get into because there's a lot of us.
There's a lot of us, and it's a cool scene and all that. And
friendly. I won't even go to blues bands anymore. It's like it's just mean talking to them. They're like, oh, you don't use a tube amp with $5,000 guitar? No, dude, I use a $300 PD and a $500 Epiphone. It's fine. It sounds the same. Well,
blues are snobs?
Oh my gosh. Come on now.
No, really. I don't.
Oh yeah. You did. Oh my gosh. The ones I've been involved with, it's just a lot of gear judging. So like if you like the Helix gets a lot of, you know, turned up noses, the offshore, the offshore guitars. But my thing is I'd rather pay good money on my pedals and my amp than I would the sound thing than the guitar, because the guitars, I don't notice a big difference between an $800 Epiphone and the $3,000 Gibson. I mean, there is a difference, but I don't, it's diminishing value, diminishing returns for me. What?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah. Hey, I use the Helix and I make fun of reamping all the time. I can't, like, the whole concept of reamping is offensive to me.
Why?
And I'm old. I haven't put a lot of thought into it, just a lot of feels. Just, you know, you've recorded something. You know, I'll tell you exactly why. I will tell you why. I just remembered. So back in the 80s, I dropped out of college to join a band. And it was all original music in Fremont, Ohio. The name of the band was Master, Bates, and the Beat Boys.
I love that.
All original. And we had shirts. I saw a picture, a band, these kids from like 10 years ago had one of our Master Bates and the Beat Boys shirts. So I'm excited. And I'm in Fremont, Ohio. We drove, I think it was to Fostoria, Ohio, to a studio. And back in that day, I mean, I was okay. I was a pretty good player, and I had a very distinctive sound. I used a PV TNT 100, where everybody laughed at me. Like, nobody took me seriously because I'm using a PV. But that thing, it was a solid state amp that when you crank the gain up, it gave distortion. Now, there are boutique pedals that replicate this. It was a revolutionary thing. And the engineer, you know, would not let me use my amp. He had me plug in directly into the board. Now, I'm playing by feel. I play, you know, specific distortion, specific way. He took all my tools away. And I'm still angry. You know, I think back to that experience and a lot of other experience as a bass player. No, my tone is this bass with this amp nowadays with this specific effect. So they took that and then they did their analog version of reamping it. Like they would take the master recording, it was on 2-inch tape, and then run that through the effects, you know, a little bit. And I was like completely offended.
Yeah, and sorry.
I'm still completely offended that that's how the bass gets treated. It's like Lee Sklar. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a world famous bass player.
I know, I've heard the name.
So he's got a real long beard. He's played
with he plays a big hollow body, kind of like a ES335. Yeah, I love that guy.
He put a switch on his bass that doesn't do anything. And when the producer or engineer said, no, he just flips this switch. Because no respect for the bass players. And to me, when I listen to an album, first thing, boom, bass tone.
Yeah.
Bass tone.
It's essential. If there's no bass, there's no album.
That's why I kind of respect, you know, I think Stoner Doom does more than most other genres to respect, you know, the legacy and respect the new gear.
Right? I do too. I haven't had any gear judging, and I mean there was one that was in that group I brought up earlier, but he got laughed out real quick. But my
pedal boards of actual doom.
Yeah.
Well, come on, that's like the most niche boutique.
Yeah, it's a pretty great group. I mean, they're real friendly. But my thing with reamping is it ruins the dynamics, because when I'm playing through an amp or the specific sim, I'm digging in how that amp sound. You know, there's different dynamics per amp. So if I'm just reamping it with another, it doesn't sound right to me. Now, if it's a real fast paced punky album, then it's whatever. You can get away with it. I don't think I would notice it at that point, but it really does. I mean, it's almost like, it doesn't sound the same, but it's almost like just taking what you already did and just putting a massive dose of compression. Like it's ruining dynamics to that degree to me.
Reamping has ruined rock, and I'm going to get heat for that. And I know I get snide looks, but you can tell when you're listening. It just reminds me of late 90s Papa Roach or late 90s. We'll stay with Papa Roach.
Butt rock.
Or even Deftones, to where it's just you're no longer hearing a guitar in an amp. And I really think that's part of why there's a disconnect from rock music, as opposed to Sleep Token, who does it right. Have you heard that new Sleep Token?
Wait, are they like I'm not sure if I know who they are. I might have. I think I just heard them a couple months ago. Are they kind of like a poppy metal band? They got like a singer that's is he the auto-tune guy with the funny masks?
Yeah, he's got the funny mask on, and I hear you on the auto-tune. I don't understand why they're auto-tuning, because
that's killed it for me.
On their latest album, even in Acadia, you can hear his breathing, you can hear clicks in it. So why they auto-tuned? But let the hate commence. That album is fantastic.
I'll check it out. Somebody recommended their last one to me. I think it came out a couple of years ago. I listened through it once, and I was just like, it's just not for me. You know, I didn't like the vocals, but again, I'm so I don't listen to vocals anyways, mostly. So I'm used to looking past it. I was like, that's not a big thing.
That's right. You want your vocals buried so far back. Yeah. You want to hear Dorothea Cottrell recorded in the next room.
Yeah. Yeah. With a microphone that's in another couple rooms away.
Which reminds me, that review that I sent you from Angry Metal Guy. Yeah. What was that? What album was that for?
Witchrot.
Witchrot. Saying that Witchrot sounds like a Dorothea Cottrell clone. I'm like, in what universe?
Yeah, they know 5 Doom bands.
They embarrass themselves.
Yeah.
Every single time they do a Doom video. In fact, you know how I find most of my music is I just read Angry Metal Guy. Anything with 2 stars or less, I know I'm going to love it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I've noticed. It seems like if it's not proggy, like Sour, or however the hell you say it, or some of those like those kind of progressive black metal bands that are coming out of the UK and Scotland and all that, then it's like, oh, well, if you're not playing, licks and arpeggios and all this, then it's not worth it. Well, that's just your opinion, man. Like, I like the slow, punky, easy stuff to play. It's fun. It's groovy. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think their problem is they might know 5 or 6 Doom bands and think it all sounds like that. Whereas, I mean, that Witchrot album is the review I'm writing on it right now. I make a point to say occult metal got long in the tooth for me. It just seemed formulaic. But when they came in with this and put in that NWO or a new wave of British heavy metal kind of vibe to it, that energy, that rollicking energy, it injected a new life to it. So I'm out there listening to Acid Mammoth. I'm out here listening to Goat Ritual. I'm doing all that stuff again that I kind of got burned out on the last couple of years, because this just injected so much new life into this subgenre.
I totally agree. Unfortunately, I don't have them in the top 5. So here we are, Clean and Sober Stoner. It is time for the top 5 in May with the returning Reverend Fuzzcut. If you want the banter, we have a lot of banter that's in the membership area. It's $1.99 a month. It's basically just supporting the channel. But I have long form. I have some outtakes. I have some political content in there. I'm not trying to milk the scene. But if you want to support the channel, membership is there. But this part is for everybody. Top 5 albums for May. So overall, what'd you think of May?
I thought it was top heavy. The top 15, 16 were really good. After that, I didn't find a lot of stuff. I was kind of like, it's okay. It was like, it's either I'm never going to touch this again, or this is some incredible stuff I have to purchase on physical right now.
Right. I agree. It's top heavy. And I've learned I need to be careful because a lot of the mid-level stuff, I'll warm up to it. I just got to make sure that I put it on a playlist so that I'm exposed to it a few times. But the top tier stuff that we got this month was really, I mean, I feel this almost every month. It's like, oh, it got serious, man. It got, there's some serious stuff. So that being said, what is your number 5 album for May?
Number 5 is Kal-El, Astral Voyager Part 1. I really like what they did with the vocals on this one. I know I'm saying something about vocals, crazy, but it's just turn you around. Well, when they're great like that, then I know I'm so used to, I grew up listening to punk and metal, and I don't care for harsh, black metal vocals. So I just got used to tuning them out. Now I don't even listen. But these, I mean, there's no chance, but you have to listen to them. They're so good and they're different. I've been having such a hard time of coming up with a good way to describe the way they're different, but I don't know if they're just recorded different or if he's done some training that just gives him a different range, but it's awesome. And the sound of that guitar, man, it is massive combined with that bass. It's just, it really does. I mean, you put it in a dark room with some incense going, it just feels like you're in space. I love that kind of sci-fi, heavy rock. It does it perfectly. I was real hungry for that at the start of the month because it had been months since I listened to some heavy space stoner rock, and it filled everything I wanted when I came to it. Loved it.
I have to agree, and I'm a little shocked. Kal-El is also my number 5. So that means we're going to have to throw in a bonus album at the end. So folks, stay at the end, and you're going to want to hear our honorable mentions. I've always liked Kal-El. Like, I've always liked them a lot. Like, here's God tier, and here's they've always been like here to me. For me, this is the album that redefines Kal-El. I just feel like this might be the first time that the whole band felt like they knew what they were doing every single step of the way. They had a plan, and it's done so well. I think I'm with you. It's the best guitar sound. It's the best vocals. And they lean a bit more, thankfully, into the psych side of things, and it really is a good album. And any other month it would be number 1, and even though it's number 5 for me right now, it could still be like a top 3 for the year. I gotta wait and see how this one grows on me.
This one moves around a lot for me because there's new things that have come in since then, like in my top 4 here, that just completely blew me away. But I keep coming back to this when it's just time to we lay down for bed at night, and me and my wife are laying down. We put on music at night. I mean, the first thing I go for is Kal-El. It just kind of, it's great. I mean, it's great chilling music. It's still heavy, it's still rocking, still high energy and a lot of spots on the album, but there's a part of it that just kind of, kind of like a hot bath. It's nice.
I agree. It's a great album. It's one that I'm definitely going to listen to throughout the year. So nice. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Mares of Thrace, The Loss.
I still have not heard this.
I just heard it the other day. Dude, I have never heard a guitar player play more like me, like that much. I'm having a hard time talking. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. I've never heard a guitar player play so much like me. Okay. It's kind of noise rock. It's kind of sludge. It's kind of progressive. I was listening to it and I was like, oh my gosh, man, this is perfect because I love this guy. It's combining all my favorite nasty styles of music, noise rock and sludge. When those two get combined with some punk and you throw in some hard little progressive stuff that are kind of hard to pull off, that's tailor made for Jacob Austin Baker. And I've loved it. I mean, that's one I'm getting on physical at some point. It's just too good not to have.
Yeah, I haven't heard it mostly because of the noise rock, and the heavier, I hate to say heavier, but the more gnarly
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
One thing I've learned about myself, and I didn't know this until a couple months ago, I lean far heavier on the stoner side. On, not even stoner metal, like more of the heavy psych stoner side is what I gravitate towards more than anything else. So Mares of Thrace hasn't been on my radar. It will now.
I'm knowing what you like. I'm not sure. You could end up digging it because you sent me some pretty aggressive stuff before that I really enjoyed. I'm not sure. I'd be curious what your take is on it. I'd be really curious to hear what you had to say about it.
We'll have to follow. We'll need to remember this next month. We can go, hey, what do you think of the Mares of Thrace?
Yeah.
My number 4 is on a totally different thing. Awwks on Through the Sky Maze. I love Awwks. AWWKS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great album. Yeah, I thought you meant Awwks, and I know I've heard Through the Sky Maze. I know I own it, but I couldn't figure it out.
Awwks has the most interesting name, in the scene. And a groovy bunch of Canadians with a heck of a sense of humor. This album is like really heavy. It's got that proto doom feel to it. It has so many things that I just love. It's been on constant repeat for me. I'd say I first got it, back in late March, which, before I got bombarded. But I knew right there and then, first listen, I'm like, oh God, this is, it's a perfect representation, I think, of where the band is at. And I still kind of put them into that Ruby the Hatchet level of just some of the most professional, best people like on the planet. Okay. Not too heavy, not too poppy, but man, they can write a song, and the guitar playing on this it's just great.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what I love about the album in particular, especially the guitar, is it wasn't washed in reverb. It was just, here's the guitar, here's the bass, here's the drums, here's the singer. Here's your rock and roll record. I love that, man. It's almost punky in a way, not musically punky, but
no,
approaching the production, it's very punky, and that's my favorite style of production.
Yeah. Yeah, I love everything about Awwks. They're also one of the best bands on like Instagram and Facebook. They're just such a good group of people that you just want to love their music, and then you hear it and you find out, oh my God, this is just great stuff. So Awwks is number 4 for me.
You just remind me, I don't think I follow them on social media. I'm gonna have to write that wrong. You
and everybody listening to this, just go to Instagram, AWWKS, you'll find them.
Yeah, it's like there's so often that'll happen. I'm like, oh, I bought this album from this band I love. I'm going to tag it. And I'm like, wait, I don't follow them yet? How is this possible? But I'm following like 3,000 bands. It gets hard to...
It does. They were one of the first bands ever to follow me. They were first. Randy Lynn, the drummer, was one of the first rock stars as I look at it. They actually reached out and said hi and then commented on videos. So in bands, that's how you get fans.
Yeah.
That's how you get fans. Is a lot of bands think social media is post their music and then move on to Facebook.
Interaction.
No. Social media is about interaction. Like I see so many YouTube channels that are struggling. They have comments down below, and the Mooga Fooger isn't answering them. Social media's engagement. So Awwks, especially Randy Lynn, has always been, kind of a mentor to me. I kind of like follow what they do, and they always have good stuff, and they're smart. They never put a picture of it theirs without putting a song on.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
That makes me cry. When I see a band, they post a picture and all this, and they don't have their music attached to it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, perfect point for it. Come across, oh, what is this? Oh, I'm going to check this out, yeah. But yeah, I like that band a lot. When I first got sober and was getting back into Stoner Doom and Sludge and all that, they were one of the first bands I saw on Doom charts. Maybe a year after I had gotten sober, and I was just checking one day, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of this. I was thinking, great name, best way, good way to make sure your vinyl's seen at the record store, because you're going to be at the front of the thing. And, well, unless they got 1,000 mods in 10,000 years, then they wouldn't. But But yeah, and I checked it out and just fell in love with them. Them and Freedom Hawk, I remember had albums come out around the same time, and I just loved both of those.
Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, man. Number 3.
Oh, number 3. This is a wild one. The band is Slung, and the album is called In Ways. Their tagline, the best way to describe it, they've already done it themselves. They're on their bio on Bandcamp, they say somewhere between Mazzy Star and Mastodon. And it could not be more apt. If you can think of if like Mastodon or somebody like that made an indie rock record, that's pretty much what you got. And I couldn't be more happier about it. The songwriting on this thing is some of the best I've heard all year. It's fantastic. And it came out of absolutely nowhere for me. Did not see this one. Didn't even know about it. Just a random listen. And I was like, got to buy this one.
Yeah, I'm really into the bands that know how to write and that are incorporating other ideas, not just keeping it straight stoner doom, but really branching out and doing different styles. So, but I have to be honest, I haven't listened to it yet.
It's real. I think you dig it. It was as much as you digged. Oh, what was that one in January? The not Bikini Kill. I know it's kind of like Riot Girl.
Oh, Blood Lemon.
Blood Lemon. Yes. It's kind of got that same vibe, but a little heavier and a little more.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to stop this right now. Let's just put some Slung on.
I was going to send it to you this weekend, but with it being Memorial Day, I didn't really want to bug you too much, but I was like, he's going to love this one.
What are you talking about with this ridiculousness?
Oh, okay. On holidays, I try not to.
I worked.
Oh, did
I
you?
have clients. I worked. I did videos. I did editing. I don't take time off.
Oh man, we honestly we're so busy too with the kids, the age that they're at. Just finding time to do the doom stuff it's hard because once the day is done and I'm like, oh, finally I got time to myself. The last thing I want to do most days is get on YouTube or even listen to albums sometimes because I'm just like, it's quiet for once. I'm just going to get my book and read. I usually do this kind of stuff like early morning type thing if I get up too early.
I totally understand. My number 3, I have a feeling, is higher up on your list.
Let me take a look at what I think I know. I have a feeling. I think I know what you're going to say.
Beware of Gods has Jason as well. Like, I know him pretty well, right? We talk all the time. And Beware of Gods is like, I find out my next door neighbor has a band and it's like, oh, that's cute. They have a band. And then I see them and I'm blown away because it's like one of the best that I've ever heard. I don't know how to describe what this album is like. First, it is a part 2 to Whom the Last Light Descends. And I do think you need to listen to the first album first.
Yes.
I think it's very much like Voivod in that there's a lot of lore. There's his lore into this thing, I think competes with, what is it? The Souls games?
Dark Souls. Yes.
Dark Souls.
I remember you saying that to him. And that's so right because it's like you don't have to get into it. But if you want to, it's there and it's fascinating. And
it's also like, I'm not always in the mood for this. That's why, I made peace with the fact that I need to hear Temple Fang. I need to hear Color Haze. I need to hear more of the Stoner Skyjoggers is another one. But Beware of Gods, this is a breakthrough album, a breakthrough moment for this band. They're getting a lot of hype out there.
They deserve it.
There's a lot of buzz, and it's kind of hard, to accept that one of my closer friends is actually something of a rock god.
He is, dude. And he's okay. So this is my album of the year. This is my number 1 this month so far. Album of the year.
Okay, so we ruined it. That's fine. That's fine.
We can go. Well, you want to edit it?
Well, you react to such things. No, go ahead.
Okay. It's hard not to. I love this kind of music. You know, post metal, I was away from it for a long time, especially the instrumental side of it, because I just listened to so much Neurosis, Yob, Isis, Pelican, Red Sparrows growing up. I got burned out, kind of like how I got burned out on Skinner and all that stuff for a while. But Pillar of Light came out in December with that album I really loved. And since then, I've been really listening to a lot of post metal. And, you know, I was a huge fan of Beware of Gods already. Really like Jason. I think he's an incredibly interesting person. And so when I knew last year, he had told me that there's a new part coming out this year, it was my most anticipated album. And quite frankly, I was worried my expectations were too high because I knew what he was capable of. You know, I have all the other stuff he's got on Bandcamp. But he exceeded everything. I mean, production values, vocals, guitar tone, bass tone, drums, the synthesizer. My God, that man's skill with a synth is blowing my mind. And his sound design on synthesizer. I mean, I was like, you know what? I decided I was going to teach myself piano. So it was such an inspiration to me. That's one of the main things that drew me back to getting it back into Doom was this album. It's perfect. It's 11 out of 10. I would put it up against anything from this decade, including, you know, my favorite album this decade is Shadow of Jupiter. And I think that's a top 10 rock record of all time. I would say Beware of Gods. I need to give it more time because it's only been out a month, but it's getting up there for me.
Yeah.
I love it.
And, you know, it's one of the things that's maddening to me is Beware of Gods isn't going to be well known outside of, you know, our little scene. And it drives me crazy because every single human being that I know that has listened, given this album even just a little bit of time, is like just blown away at the quality of the writing, the quality of the production, the heaviness of the thing, how it does not get boring. I'm not the world's biggest Slift fan. Okay. I thought that last Slift album was a brick-walled, overcompressed piece of, I hated it. Like it physically hurt me to listen to it. And somehow Beware of Gods, they're operating in a similar vein, but it's not this nonstop brick-walled assault. There's tempo change, there's dynamic change, there's mood change, there's atmosphere change. I have to agree with you. I think for what this album is, it is virtually perfect.
Yeah, and you know what? I do like that Slift album, but I agree with you with a lot of those points. The recording in my ears, even on vinyl, it's a tough listen sometimes.
Right.
But the thing I love, like what I think Jason succeeds at so much that where Slift didn't was texture.
Yes.
Textures in the background, the swirling synth, the pads, all that stuff, that creates so much ambiance. And that was missed sorely in Slift. I think if they would have added that and opened things up a little more, made it a little more dynamic, it would have been a great record. But again, I have the same, you know, in Blood Incantation, same issue with that one. Slift and Blood Incantation, very similar in that. And that's why, I mean, just total opposite on Jason's end here. He opens things up for atmosphere unlike anybody else is doing right now. Yeah.
And for the record, I really like Slift. Like when I see their live content from the videos and stuff, I'm like, because it breathes. Yeah. Right? And I can see that actual humans are doing it. And by the way, quite well. Yeah. I don't fault anybody for loving Slift and the last album. It was just too painful for me. Beware of Gods is painful for me. It's not a joyous, uproarious experience going through it. And yet somehow it still is. Because I'm like you. I come out the other end from Beware of Gods. I feel refreshed, motivated, and I'm ready for the next thing.
Yeah, it's very cathartic, very therapeutic.
It is.
I find that kind of music in general, just real low tune, like once you're tuning down to B and A, and just real long form songs, progressive, that kind of stuff I find so cathartic.
Yeah. So good on them. All hails Beware of Gods. That means your number 2 is up next.
Yeah, it's one I'm was just writing a review for right now. Witchrot, Soul Seller. Oh boy. So this was the first thing when I told Jupe I was coming back to Doom Charts, or that I would like to, and he started sending me EPKs again. This was the first one I got, and I've spun it multiple times every day. It's It's fantastic, man. Like I said earlier, I got burned out on occult metal for a while, and that's not to say I don't like it. It's just I listened to it too much because I enjoyed it so much. So, but this has got me listening to Goat Ritual, Acid Mammoth, all that stuff, just on nonstop now. Again, but what I like so much that Witchrot did, they're moving this forward because it did get stale to me. It was very, very formulaic for about 5 years in that sub genre of what occult metal should be. And they've kind of come in and just turned everything up to 10. You know, the grooves are groovier, the lead lines are better, and the melodies are more melodious. It's just, everything is cranked up, and it's dark, it's doomy, and it's kind of like, oh, this is kind of a sad or, you know, depressive album, but at the same time, it's really cathartic because it, you know, it makes you want to shake your butt. It's such a good record, man. It kind of just makes me want to get up and dance in the same way that a lot of like Doors and 60s hippie music does. It's just fun.
I feel that way about Sloth, the doom band from LA. I agree with you on this. And, you know, we had mentioned, and this is in the membership area, you know, Angry Metal Guy reviewed this album, gave it a 2.5, and said that the singer is a Dorothea Cottrell clone. Yeah. And I'm like, have you ever listened to Windhand? Right. Have you ever listened to Witchrot? I would never in a million years confuse these two vocalists. I wouldn't confuse Witchrot with everyone. And not only at the vocal, one, it's a all over the place performance. I mean, she's not a one note.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She's not a one trick pony. She's pulling all sorts of vocal tricks out. The guitar, again, I can hear the natural reverb and sustain of the guitar. I feel like I'm listening to a guitar coming through either an Orange or a Laney or a Marshall. Yes. It feels very real, very authentic to me. I really enjoy it a lot. I think the songs are great. I'm not like you. I've never gotten tired of occult rock. I love it. It's one of my favorite, like, you know, when you say that, I think of Haunted's album from last year.
So good.
And Christina Chimeri, one of the most underrated vocalists around. No, Witchrot falls right into that same level. I think they do progress it a little bit. Like, this genre is far from dead.
Yeah, and you know what? Their guitar player is doing something special on that, because I have never heard something be that daggone saturated and still be that clear. It's unreal. I mean, there's just, that thing is a wet signal, man. And it's, but it's so clear. Like, I have no problem telling each individual note that man or woman plays.
Right. And I don't think it's coming through a fuzz pedal, and I don't think it's not compressed. I'm pretty certain this is natural distortion.
Like, I think so too.
Like, and I love that sound. I just live for that sound. So Witchrot, yeah. A worthy number. That was your number 2, right?
Yeah. What's your number 2?
Oh, this one came from nowhere. So I got, as usually happens, I'm not finalizing, but I'm finishing my list, and I get this email from someone who knows the channel, and they themselves are been sober for a while. Oh, cool. And yeah, that's just, you know, you just be nice and be. They were way too humble. Slumbering Sun. Holy crap.
Oh my gosh, right?
Holy crap. This is a serious supergroup from Texas. Like, they come from Temptress, you know, and I put this album on, and the vocals are just so good. And they do the vocal harmonies. They're writing, you know, they're kind of like forlorn love songs, similar to what Nishta did last year, but it's so good and progressive and doomy and heavy. And they have 2 guitar players, and then let them both do their thing, Slumbering Sun. And then I find out they're playing Asheville Doomed and Stoned.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to meet them in
That's
a month.
Awesome.
In a month and a half, I finally get to meet them.
Heck yeah.
They were a band that, as soon as I was done with this album, I just went, okay, play it again. I've got the the song The Tower is linked down below. Yeah, I just want to know everything about the band. So then I read the EVK and I'm like, oh crap, the word has to come out on Slumbering Sun. They are they're innovative. Yes, Rich Piva, that is a jam towards you. He and I are arguing. I say that today's guitar players are better than those from the 70s.
I agree.
I'm not saying that such and such is better than Richie Blackmore. I'm not saying, but overall, the quality of the guitar playing, and Rich hits me back with, well, who's innovating? And I'm like, have you watched my channel? You're a Doom charter. You tell me.
Owen Abassi, that's number one for me. That dude. Oh my gosh. I mean, he's not Doom, but he's a wizard.
We don't have to go outside of the stoner Doom genre. I'll put Steak Band against any guitar-driven AOR music from the 70s. I'll put them up against Bad Company. I'll put them up against, anybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. They weren't one of the first ones that came to mind, but doggone, you're right. You know,
Steak Band. Another band would be Fairy Ring.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God.
From Indiana.
So anyway, take that, Rich Piva. Slumbering Sun is innovative, unique. There are so many layers. It sounds like it's recorded with analog. I think there's a bit of a low pass in the upper, so I'm not getting the cymbals clearly the way I would like. It's like I said, it's very analog-y without the hiss. I think they're going to become one of my favorite bands all time.
Have you heard their first album?
No, that's what's
it's
funny.
really good.
I mean, I literally just heard them a couple days ago, and boom, number 2. They'd be number 1, but number 1's going to stay number 1, and number 1's probably my number 1 album for the year.
Well, who is it? Because we already talked about my number 1.
Well, I'll say yours again.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody deserves a second shout out, it's
for sure. It is Beware of Gods.
Okay. That's your number 1. My number 1.
Oh, wait. I know what it is. Yeah. I got it in here too. Greatest album cover of the year. Yes, son.
Not AI generated, actual art. Okay. So how much do I love this? I've bought this 3 times. I said this in other videos. I bought the album, even though I get the press release, I bought the album. Then I saw that they're offering their entire discography for like $1 more. So I got the discography. And then I saw Brenna talk about this. And this is a gorgeous emerald green album that, as long as I own it, it will never see a needle. So I've bought this album 3 times.
It's worth it. It's so good.
Where do you have it on your list so far?
Oh man, I think I had it at number 6. It was really hard between number 6. It was really hard between Kal-El and Crystal Spiders for me. But this is another one that just keeps going up and up. Like it keeps moving as I find new stuff. So I think at the end of the year, this is going to be looking more top 15 for me. Because like I said, it's just been like at first I was like, I like it, but it's just shooting up like a rocket. And, you know, like Spectral Voice did for me last year. Like I didn't like it. I was kind of ambivalent at first. But the more I listen, especially the tones, man, that bass tone and guitar tone, the drums, I mean, the production and sound engineering on this record is second to none. This is, I mean, it's better than half the stuff I hear coming from a major label studio.
I would like to have a little bit more bass in the mix. But at the same time, I can't argue with what they did because you can clearly hear Brenna's bass. And by the way, she plays live. She's way more aggressive than she is on this. Reed Rogers is, when I hear that nobody knows how to play guitar and music sucks compared to them, this Metanoia is my counter argument, the way Fairy Ring was. I think it was 3 years ago. I think this album has everything that I didn't know I was missing from hard rock heavy metal. And then Brenda's vocals are second to none. like, good God, she has a distinctive
Yeah.
voice. It gets a little bit like Geddy Lee on Helium.
Yeah.
Like she can throw it, and she does it live just as well. So I'm seeing them, and you know, I am so into Crystal Spiders that I finally got inspired to do my battle jacket.
Heck yeah, I saw that right before we got on here.
So if it's on the left hand, that's who the band is. My first patch was Black Sabbath.
Heck yeah.
And then ta-da!
That is so cool. I love that Celtic Frost one, man. That and the Yob one. Those are sweet.
It's the Women of Doom patch that I've had the most comments on.
That is cool.
It's just a rare patch.
Yeah.
So I've got to put crop on.
Yes.
And then this round is done. So I will be wearing my first battle vest since I was 20 years old.
I just found mine at my mom and dad's, dude.
No way.
I was ashamed. It had Pantera, God forbid.
No, you need to bring this out.
Oh, it's at mom and dad. I'll get it next time for sure.
Yeah. We need to do a battle vest episode.
Yeah. Still smells like weed too. I don't think it's been washed in 25 years.
So I have hand sewn every patch.
Oh wow!
We do have the clean and sober stoner patch. I don't. It's not like a woven patch, so I don't know how it. We do want to have merch for sale. I've got a lot of people asking. We want to make sure we have the right merch first, and then with the stupid tariff thing and everything else. But no, to me, Crystal Spiders is metanoia, which is a religious conversion. Rock at its best can change a person's life, their perspective, their entire way of being. And if you put this album on from beginning to end, I think you're going to experience the joy, the pure joy, the ecstatic celebration of all things heavy that Crystal Spiders brings to it. So,
and that's such a good point. This is a spiritual type of music. It is spiritually gratifying. You know, you put on something like Droney Iommi or Sun, and you put some incense on in a dark room, you're meeting God, son. That is lovely. That is earth, or even that, you know, anything with a lot of low frequencies that's fuzzy. Oh man, that's a one-way ticket to heaven or wherever, you know, viewer, whatever you believe, it's a one-way ticket to your spirituality of choice.
As a King, I think definitely fits in that description. Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Okay, so we doubled up. So we're going to throw one out. What is coming down the highway for June that people need to know about?
Another very good album, Goya. Their new album is spectacular. Comes out June. I want to say June 14th. I might be wrong on that. It's in the first 2 weeks of June. It comes out. It might be June 4th or June 6th.
Okay. One of my all-time favorite Doom Charts bands that I discovered on the Doom Chart, 1968, has a new album coming out. I haven't heard it yet. They send it to me. I just haven't had time to listen to it. So for me, 1968, I think I'm the most curious to listen to.
I haven't listened to them. I'm going to have to check them out when we get off here.
Oh, yeah, I'll send you some stuff. I got you. Cool. Okay, my friend. All right. That's it. Those are the top, 9 albums of May. We do owe them another one, don't we?
Yep.
So what was your number 6? Your number 6 was Metanoia. Yeah. What's your number 7?
My number 7 was Slumbering Sun.
Okay, number 8.
A Flock Named Murder, Incendiary Sanctum. It's kind of like... It's another Hypothrall release. It's very, very aggressive. Almost, there's like some black metal-y sections. There's some doomy sections. There's some sludgy ones. It's extreme, extreme metal. And I just really, really love it. It's so aggressive.
My bonus one is coming in at number 6 for me. Hexecutioner.
Oh, yeah.
God, it's good.
I haven't heard it yet.
It has the serious Acid King vibe. It's a 2-piece guitar and drums, and it's old school. It's Doom. They know how to write a Doom song. It's fantastic. I wish I could squeeze, another album into top 5, but Kal-El, how are you going to compete against Kal-El,
Right.
Awwks,
It's so
Beware of
good.
God, Slumbering Sun, and so. But yeah, Hexecutioner. would
Yeah,
be
there's
the
some
one.
stuff that, I mean, some of these albums I wouldn't be surprised if 10 years down the line they're considered classics. You know, I mean, this was a strong month on the top end.
It's a strong month. It's a strong year. So,
yes, it is.
But
And
I
last
need
year
to let you,
too.
I
yeah.
need to let you go so you can finish writing your comeback
Right.
article
Yeah.
for Monster Riff, and then we got to listen and get ready for June.
Yes, true.
See you, Rev.
See ya.